Welcome to Flourish in 5. My name is Heather Lawton, and every Friday I share a story, a lesson, or a quick idea with the goal of helping you gain a new perspective. If you could please share the podcast with your friends, I would really appreciate it. I learned something new this week that I'm really excited about because I believe it's going to be revolutionary for me, and I wanted to share it with you. But the problem is I'm still processing it, which means I probably need to ask for some grace as I will shortly fumble my words today because these thoughts are still forming. So let me give you a little bit of background on this. I did a live video last week with my friend Rachel Brenke the Lawtog. If you are not following her on Instagram, please go do so. That video is posted on her account. So we had a discussion around life and balance. Rachel is a triathlon athlete. She has several businesses and approximately 22 children. Okay. I think it's 5, but anyway, there's a multiplier. So there are a lot of kids. So her and I were talking about life and balance, and I obviously have a ton of respect for what she is doing. And we were having this conversation around, we're both type A high performers, and we set certain standards for ourselves that can be sometimes difficult to meet. Let me give you an example. So I have certain days of my week that are scheduled for certain things, and I sometimes have to force myself to sit down and to do tasks that I either don't want to do, or maybe I'm just not in the right frame of mind to do. But because I'm an overachiever and type A, I will, and I said I was going to do it on Monday, for instance, I will force myself, push myself to complete a task, probably not in the most efficient or effective manner because I'm not in the right frame of mind, but I said I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. I have a difficult time balancing like, oh, maybe I should do this later with, I said I was going to do it, and I operate with integrity, and I'm going to get this done, and I'm not going to make excuses versus listening to my energy or my mood. So another example of this is exercise. I exercise 6 to 7 days a week, and I rarely take any time off because even if I'm not feeling great, or maybe I'm sore or I hurt myself, I still make myself do it because I don't. Okay, here's what it comes down to, I think. Again, stay with me, I'm still processing. I don't trust myself to say, oh, I need a day off because my body needs to rest. I think I'm just being lazy versus maybe I do need a rest day, but am I being lazy? Am I making an excuse, or is it legitimate? And so where the trust issue is I can't discern that. So typically I will just force myself to do it, which is not always the best case scenario. In other words, I rarely to never let myself off the hook for anything, like very rigid, no flexibility. And I think this is actually causing more harm than good. So I was asking Rachel, I said, what do you do when you know you need to complete a task? You said you were going to do it at a certain time of day or a certain day, but you're not, maybe you're not feeling well, or maybe you're just not into, oh, she was talking about recording videos for one of her programs, and she started to record the videos, and her assistant was basically like, I got to tell you, this sucks because your energy isn't in the right place. So she was like, I wasted 3 hours that day when I knew my energy wasn't in the right place. And instead of forcing myself to do something, I should have said, no, this isn't going to work out well. I should do it another time. You guys, I'm struggling with this. The discernment issue comes up again. So she gave me some tips, and I'm starting to implement this, which is, if, for instance, the exercise is an easy example, so I'm going to stick with it. If, for instance, I wake up one day and I feel really sore or tired, the question she taught me to ask myself is, can I do this effectively? Can I exercise effectively? Can I do this task effectively? Or am I just trying to make excuses for why I don't want to do it? So in other words, am I being lazy and making excuses? No, I don't feel like working out. Or is it legitimate? Can I not effectively do this right now? And that gave me a little bit more of a structure that maybe I can ask myself so I can discern a better answer. So for instance, if I say, I'm going to record the podcast at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, but just before then, I read an email or better yet, I read a comment on YouTube that is really unkind and it puts my energy in the wrong place. So I need to ask myself, do I not feel like recording this podcast because I'm lazy and I'm making excuses, or I can't do it effectively because my energy isn't in the right place? So the effective question is what got me. I believe this to be really revolutionary for me. I'm going to start asking myself when I'm about to perform any task, if I'm not like in the right headspace, I'm going to ask, can I be effective at this task at the current time? And if the answer is no, then it's not an excuse. It is a legitimate reason to reschedule it. And for some reason, talking this through with her was so helpful for me to let go of some of this rigidity that I have around my schedule and what I expect of myself and the level of self-discipline and integrity that I expect. No, I said I was going to do it. Well, you can still be in integrity and say, this isn't the right time to do this task. I'm going to do it later. Because I just never want to fall into the trap of making excuses as to why I'm not getting things done and therefore not making progress, because I believe that would be, of course, then my own fault. Anyway, I'm wondering if you could apply this to areas you're, because here's the thing, here's the danger. I don't want to I don't want to go too easy on myself. Oh, you're not feeling like it this morning? No, you don't have to do your workout because you wouldn't be effective. I just don't want to go down that path of making excuses. So I guess what I learned in talking with her is I have some pretty extreme behavior. It's either like I am all in or I am not, but there is no in between for me. And I'm going to try to lighten up and become a little bit more flexible with how I schedule myself and my time. And it's going to begin with that question, which is, can I be effective at this currently? And if the answer is no, then reschedule. I hope that you found this useful. I'll see you in the next episode.